right. What's going on, everyone? Adjust the camera. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On these live streams and on this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. And we also teach you how to stay alive in the space. Man, we were watching Randy Hipper. Shout out to Randy Hipper's Miss Teen Crypto. Randy Hipper was just showing us who she really is. She is a genuine person. She's a great content creator. She's a great teacher. And we wanted to give her a shout out and just give her a spotlight on the live stream today because we wanted to give credit where credit's due, you know? Her channel was one of the first channels that inspired us to make crypto content. So that's why we want to give credit where credit is due, because she was one of the first people that we saw in 2021 when we came to the timeline, you know, when we came to YouTube. And so we just remember seeing her, and she was happy, bubbly, excited, inspired, passionate about talking about crypto. And we were like, wow, like she's really getting after it right now. And at the time, we weren't making any content or videos on crypto. We were just kind of, you know, just dipping our toe in the ecosystem and testing things out and getting excited. And the more I started to watch channels like Randy and just seeing her grind and see that, wow, like she's really doing it, and she's putting her neck out there. And I'm sure she probably got, like she's explained, she got a lot of backlash. People didn't understand, especially in a kind of somewhat male, dominated space. You know, there's tons of women in crypto now, but 4 years ago it's probably a big sausage fest. So let's be honest. And this is just, and we could go into the metrics. I mean, literally like 95% of the people that watch our channel are males. So, I mean, and you go into any crypto YouTube metrics, it's probably the same. So, so the fact that we saw someone as young as her pushing, and we were just bullish. We got super bullish, and it really helped us to just get the courage to start our own channel, start to talk about crypto, even though we felt like we knew nothing. We said we have to start somewhere. So we want to give Randy Hipper a massive, massive shout out. She's still hosting her show right now. So if you want to go and say hello and give her, send her a super chat. People have been just showering her with love. It is her 700th episode of doing the Daily Zest. So we want to give Randy Hipper a good round of applause for not quitting, man, because she went through some stuff. And everyone in crypto and in life, I think you're going to go through these ebb and flows. You're going to get tested. You are going to that's the only fest I don't like, is the song. Yeah, shout out to Trade Intuition. Shout out to Jason Crypto, Jason Beats. Welcome, guys. If you're just coming in, make sure you're sharing the live stream, reposting, and just flooding the chat with some emojis. Especially if you are a member of the channel, you can use the awesome emojis that we have. We're gonna add a Randy Hipper emoji. I don't know why we haven't done that. We got to add all the the characters in crypto here. Randy Hipper definitely being one of the main characters, I think, in her own right. So, but the thing that I want to point out is that, we get tested a lot. And I truly think it's through God's plan for your life that you are brought to a point where you have to believe. You have to believe. And you have to be at a point where you're so low that you think all hope is lost. And then you finally can hopefully hear the voice of God telling you to keep going, don't quit. Like you are such a precious thing to waste this life and end up going down the wrong path. And so there's probably moments in your life where you've had that moment, you've had that call. And so we have to really, really listen to that and be perceptive and pay attention. And also, when we see someone hurting, when we see someone who needs that, and God ends up working through you to help them get up. And see, people think that God is some person in the sky, but God actually is inside of us and is working through us, and we are the messengers of light. We are the ones that it's like that one person. Randy talked about it this morning. She said, I had this one teacher, this one counselor, someone from her school said, you're going to be the one to make it. When everyone was talking about her, everyone was telling her she was crazy for getting into crypto, typical for the crypto ecosystems. Especially, it's still now, even to this day, when we have the most bullish framework and regulatory clarity and all that stuff, and the talk of crypto and administrations, and the suits are in here now. We got the ETFs, everything's lined up, but for some reason we still get laughed at for being in crypto. It's still a taboo kind of thing, and so to still be here and to still survive and last, it is through the encouragement. And also in combination with your strong will. And so I want to say congratulations to everyone who's still here, even if you've had to rebuild your portfolio 17 times over, if you've leverage traded your account to zero and you have nothing left, but you still have shown up. You, my friends, are going to win. You will win. I don't know from what. I don't know if it's going to be from one of your bags or one of your coins that you bought. It's going to moon. I don't know if it's going to be you're going to get a job in crypto. You're going to get paid a lot of money doing something. I don't know what it is, but damn it, you will win if you continue to show up and you continue to be inspired, to be encouraged, to be pushed, to not give up. And so that's our message for this morning in the intro, but we got some videos that we want to play. We got some charts that we're going to pull up. We got some observations on CT, and we're going to go through it. So I'm glad you guys are here. So thank you for being here, and make sure you are, sharing the stream again. You got to hit that like button. We got 7 people in here, so getting the motion going. But you have to destroy that like button. We want to give a shout out to Ozzy yesterday for giving out all those memberships. That was amazing. So now we have, I think, if we were to go to our studio here, we'll go to the YouTube studio. We'll see how many people we have as subscribers. 3,893. So we're getting very close to 4K, guys. But yeah, so let's see who and how many members we have now. So let's see, we have, nice. I think we have about 20 members. So shout out to Crypto Changed Me. We got Leo, we got Amazing Coins for You, Jack, the Orthodox Meathead, I like that. We have Free Crypto Academy, Daniel, good name. We have Devin Wang, T. Gerald. Shout out to everyone. Thank you so much. So yeah, just I hope you stay. I hope you continue to become stay a member, be a subscriber, be a dojo member. And once you're in this channel and with us, you are in the dojo crew. This is what this is. We're in the dojo crew, the dojo of crypto. You will come out sore. Your muscles are going to be sore. You're going to pull a hammy. You're going to freaking stretch out something. But then you're gonna learn how to punch. You're gonna learn how to dodge. You're also gonna get rocked. But then you know what? We're all going to help each other out. We're all gonna realize that this game is not easy, and that we're gonna constantly train together and get better. So we're in the dojo, my friends. So welcome to the dojo. I really appreciate every single one of you. And you guys, a lot of the times, have been the reason why I've came back and I didn't quit. Because I thought, wow, how embarrassing would it be? And also just to give up on you guys, who you were the ones coming to my channel and giving me your time and your attention. Like, your time is so valuable. And the fact that you even are listening to me, means that I can't disrespect you guys and also just completely just kind of miss the plot, you know? Because if there's anything that I've wanted to do with this channel is to get people excited about crypto. I don't want them to think that you come in and then you get depressed and then quit because that sucks. You know, that's not a good, like, I want to demystify crypto. I don't want people to come in and think that, oh, you just come in and you get extracted and then you quit and then you end up coming and telling people, yeah, crypto's a scam. I lost all my money. So we are trying our best. We are trying our best to present this in the crypto space while I'm here every day. I see all the channels, I watch the videos, I see the posts, I know who the big people are, I know the small people, I know the mid people, I watch it all. I got my favorites that I feel like pull it all together very well, and I've just noticed that the best thing that we can do here is to just encourage people to stay, to remind them that, hey, crime's been legal, my friends. It's not like it's anything new. Where there's going to be insiders and an opportunity to literally extract at the highest point and level, it's going to happen, and it will continue to happen. That's just the way the world works and the game that's played. Our job is to not get chopped up in it and know that the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain pulling is not a Wizard of Oz. It is a freaking it is just a game machine that's programmed. That's the whole thing. That's the veil. So this is what the whole goal of this channel is, to break and crack your freaking brain open, my friend. And with the help of you guys coming in here and validating me, coming in and validating what I'm saying, and you're like, yes, then we're on to something. We're on to something. Okay? We're on to something, my friends. But I'll tell you what my breakthrough was. My breakthrough was here seeing what happened to the white whale, okay? We're going to go into the white whale. The belly of the whale. That's where we're going. We're going in the belly of the whale, the white whale. Okay? We got so much to break down today. I mean, we're going to try and get all through it if our ADHD can manage it. A lot of the times we end up getting about 85% of what we want to get out, and we try and thread it to the tack here, thread it to the tack there. And we try and do our best. But so we're going to get through it. But God, I have so many observations and of what's happened with CZ, with the pardon, just the blatant, like, just playing dumb with CZ and also with Trump. It has just made me so upset. I feel like I've been betrayed. But in all that, I've realized that I'm not the only one that feels this way. A lot of people in crypto Twitter feel betrayed. In the crypto space, feel very much just, I don't know. What's the word? Disillusioned or something? I don't know. Just very PTSD'd. I think, and if I'd wagered a bet that Ansem's is one of the biggest ones that feels this way. He kind of reveals it in his post where he's like, bro, he's like, I put my whole reputation on crypto, and then all of a sudden I see gold in these freaking stocks and Beyond Meat and all these things, and me, you know, I ended up becoming the inverse Kramer of crypto, and Kramer ended up saying buy crypto while I was saying 100K. But then what was crazy is that Ansem then also ended up being right, because then the market got rugged, and then he was like, I don't know what to do. He was like, what just happened to me? Even the person who is the main character was like, what the freaking hell is going on? So no, it's not like that though, but it's not, no, he didn't pump our bags. They pumped their bags. What are you talking about? Our bags definitely didn't pump. Some did, but no, they didn't. No, they like a lot of money. And this is why I think a lot of people are going to really start to find out the true crime here that's happened is we got cooked. We were the pawns and massive and big whales too that were holding up a lot of trading volume on Binance and all these other places that were holding up the collateral, I guess you could say. And Binance, knowing that all of this connections with the DOJ, the original reason why CZ was put in jail to begin with, people don't realize, and I've been going into and researching this, you know, the whole thing was that he and the Binance team were not able to properly put money laundering provisions that led to accounts being set up and being used for terrorist organizations. Now, correction of what actually is the truth is that Binance was 100% illicit in going into and helping these accounts get set up to then fund terrorist organizations. And then turning a blind eye and saying, yeah, we didn't know they were terrorist organizations. Insane. So, and not to mention the other manipulation and liquidations that has happened with this company. So there's a lot of false narrative going around that CZ didn't commit a crime and Binance didn't commit a crime. That's bullshit. Sorry, it's BS. And I hate to say it, but I can't stand Elizabeth Warren. I can't stand her. She seems like such a crock. But she is pointing out the fact that no, there were documented actual evidence that a lot of those accounts that they let on Binance were like known terrorist organizations. So Binance funded the murder and the atrocities across multiple different, probably different year points through COVID, through those 4 years up until the point where CZ stepped down. Do you understand what's happening here? And so then there's the whole deal of the money that Binance had to pay, not to mention the connection with the BUSD. All of this money that was propped up, and Sami reminded me of this. Thank you, Sami, for reminding me of how close BUSD was getting to overtaking USDC, which was and USDT. So then I remember this because they stopped BUSD deposits across all platforms in America once there was the attack on Binance. So Binance was gaining a lot of control, and the U.S. government came in, and the powers that be were like, no, we're taking you down, and then we're going to also actually probe you, and you're going to end up doing a deal with us later. And look what's happening right now. And then look at how the FTX was funding the Democratic Party through Sam Bankman-Fried and his family and his donors who are connected with the Democratic Party through his father. And so do you see how the warfare has been happening all on the blockchain? And it's all through these exchanges. So what's the answer here? You buy spot crypto like we've been talking about, and you figure out which ones are being used by those systems to basically freaking prop the crap out of it. Sadly, right now, that's BNB. BNB's getting all this market share and being pumped up just for off the news that CZ was pardoned by President Trump. Okay? And so, no, I know. And that's what we're going to get into, Headband. Crypto is about being patient. Sorry, I didn't have the chat up. I thought I had the chat up. But yeah, no, crypto is 100% about being patient and not acting like a chicken with their head cut off. And that is what I had to learn the hard way in the past 4 years that I've been here. So I came in right in the drop of January 2021. I made my first video talking about Bitcoin, or Elon and Tesla purchasing Bitcoin, their first like public purchase of Bitcoin. And that was like what was like, okay, I'm gonna start talking about it. I'm just gonna make a video. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. But yeah, you definitely like, gosh, man, I've learned so much. But yeah, this is something crazy's happened. Okay, so let me keep connecting the dots here for you guys with this story, because this and Leonidas actually broke it down pretty well. And there's another post from Leonidas that I really liked. He's actually one of the runners of the Bitcoin meme coin dog. So shout out to Leonidas. Did he follow me yet? No, they didn't follow me yet, but he should. The SEC was unfairly targeting CZ, so he deserved to be pardoned. I'm seeing this very uninformed take on X a lot today. CZ did not go to jail because of anything related to the SEC or Gary Gensler or any political targeting. CZ went to jail because he was criminally indicted by the United States Department of DOJ and was found guilty of allowing Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Lazarus Group, which is the North Korean group that has done the biggest scams, Iran and major drug cartels to launder their money through Binance, which if you're using Binance, you're supporting that. And if you're using any of their services, or you're promoting any of their meme coins like Four or like Giggle Academy or if the whole market on altcoins was getting cooked, guess which one was going up? COAI. Guess where it's at? Binance Smart Chain. Guess who knows what about it and knows what they're even doing? Not very many people. Why is it going up? Because that's where a lot of the money's probably getting wash traded through. So it's pretty obvious to me. I mean, that's my best guess. I don't have the proof of that, but that's my best guess, because why the whole entire market just got nuked to 2022 lows, Chain AI, whatever the heck COAI was up 65%, 70%. Okay. So the Attorney General of the United States went on record saying that Binance became the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange in part because of the crimes it committed. Not because it was getting so powerful because everyone just loved using Binance. No, like the criminals were using Binance and they knew about it. That's why CZ went to jail. And do you see why it's not good for Binance to be owning all this market share and then getting pardoned by the president and having all these back-end deals with World Liberty Financial, with CZ? He said on record that he did not ask for a pardon and wasn't working on a pardon by Trump and wasn't having a pro quo whatever deal where he's basically investing in World Liberty Financial in the USD1 token to buy his pardon out. So when you get to stuff like this clip of Trump makes me so mad. I think it's funny what he said, but it makes me mad because he's playing so dumb. The reporter, I hope it plays the whole thing of what the report, because the reporter was trying to say your World Liberty Financial, it's obviously linked.
Finance. Can you explain why you chose to pardon him, and did it have anything to do with his involvement in your family's? Which one? Who is that? The founder of Binance. He has an involvement in your own family's crypto business.
I believe we're talking about the same person, because I do pardon a lot of people. I don't know. He was recommended by a lot of people. A lot of people say that. Are you talking about the crypto person? A lot of people say that he wasn't guilty of anything. He served 4 months in jail, and they say that he was not guilty of anything. That what he did. Well, you don't know much about crypto. You know nothing about. You know nothing about nothing. You're fake news. But let me just tell you that he was somebody that, as I was told, I don't know him. I don't.
You don't know him. You don't know him, President Trump. I'm sorry, Mr. President. Mr. President. Are you really going to flat out lie? I'm sorry, but I'm an American, dude. I am an American, all right? I'm pretty damn patriotic now at this point. I would never move out of this country. I don't care how bad it gets. I'm an American. And I have a right to ask the president, why are you lying? Why are you lying flat out that you don't know CZ? And if you are telling the truth, why are you telling, quote, fake news that they don't know anything about crypto if you don't know who you just fucking pardoned? Are you kidding me? Dude. Like, what? Come on. That is BS so crazy. He totally dodged that and was like, oh, you're fake news. You don't know about crypto. Apparently, Mr. President, you don't know very much either because you don't even know who CZ is. But you pardoned him. Get the hell out of here.
I don't believe I've ever met him.
I don't believe I've ever met him. It's like Epstein. I think I took a picture with him. I think we were in the same room together. You know, there was a lot of women. I couldn't understand what anyone was saying, and they said that's Mr. Epstein, and I thought, hey, that guy, he looks like a nice guy. Mr. President, come on, give me a.
I've been told by a lot of support. He had a lot of support, and they said that what he did is not even a crime. It wasn't a crime. That he was persecuted by the Biden administration. And so I gave him a pardon at the request of a lot of very good people.
Really? At the request of a lot of really good people. Mr. President, do you remember a certain person called Ross Ulrich who you talked to his family? You actually talked to Ross Ulrich in jail. You actually seemed very heartfelt about pardoning Ross. It was a political play, basically. I feel like now you just use it as a political play to get all the Bitcoiners to vote for you. I'm getting pissed off, man. This is the thing. I'm able to have an opinion and also ask questions because look, I voted for this guy. I voted for Trump. And if he's going to start going in a certain direction, I'm going to be like, excuse me. A lot of us were one issue voters. I was more of a multi-issue voter, but This has pissed me off. I don't like the flat out lies. I don't like the flat out lies. It's crap. That's the thing. Like, as an American, this is why we have states. It's because if you want to be able to live in a certain type of way, then you go to a certain state. Let's just be honest. That's just how it is. It's how our culture is in America. That's why we have state. I'm not even going to freaking get into it. Holy freaking crap. It's so frustrating. Okay. So then hold on. Let me go back to this because I still got to break this down because I just from got me on a rant. Okay, gosh. So CZ has spent 7 years fostering a persona, and I 100%, I couldn't put it into words or put it into a post better than Leonidas. So this is why I had to document it. CZ has spent 7 years fostering a persona on X of being a helpless child that doesn't know any better, meanwhile criming his way to $100 billion in net worth by way of terrorist organizations and liquidating people who believe in crypto. Anyone who takes Binance or CZ's words at face value when they say things like, we don't charge listing fees, or we care about community and transparency, or our business deals with World Liberty Financial have nothing to do with trying to get CZ pardoned, which is false, is 100% now documented, and is now the rabbit trail and the crumbs are all leading to this. So stop paying attention to what CZ and Binance say and start paying attention to their actions, and then also start paying attention to your bags and get them ready to be protected, okay? You need to protect your coins because you remember when stuff got euphoric last time? You remember what happened? All the exchanges that you care and love so dear, all the people that said, I'm going to give you this yield. I'm going to give you that. Guess what? They took your crypto. They took your crypto. And that's the whole rabbit hole that crypto is really all about. It's to get you real buttered up. You get so excited and bullish to lose the whole freaking point of crypto to begin with is to hold your own damn coins. And if you don't start to realize that, this game is very, very tricky. Becomes very tricky, and you get chopped up real fast. So you got to just start accumulating and holding your coins and not giving them up out of your cold dead hands. And you never send them into these exchanges. I don't care how much yield they're going to give you. I don't care. And you shouldn't either, because we should have learned our lessons from the previous cycles, and it's not like it's going to change. They're going to do it again. Don't put your money in any of the Binance products or Binance USD in America, because you're basically supporting communist terrorism against America and against your crypto. And that's 100% facts. And if you don't do anything about it, and you keep using their stuff, you're just adding to the problem. And so we're making a big case that the reason why it's so important actually to have regulation. And we thought, it's like, no, crypto can still be decentralized through regulated avenues and a fusion, with it being able to be graded to institutional levels of the CME group, the ETF trading volume, and why and which blockchains are going to be used basically to power the AI super cycle that's going to wipe out all the jobs. Okay? Now, what no one's telling you, why there's going to be a stablecoin super cycle, I finally figured it out. Now, this is a theory. You can put the tinfoil hat on me all day, but check it out. Here's why we're going to have a stablecoin super cycle. Why do you think all the states are getting regulated and being able to mint their own stablecoin? It's because those stablecoins are going to be used for social programs. And that social program and community program is going to be issuing stablecoin to people who lost their jobs, because AI is coming for you. It's just the facts. AI is going to take out millions of jobs, and there's gonna be a lot of people out of work. Some of those people are not going to learn new skills. Some people are going to, and we've seen in history when a lot of people have lost their jobs, there's like a big percentage that end up literally committing crimes because they're desperate. They do stuff that they don't want to do, and they end up on the street. And so it's not good. And so it's bad. People end up homeless, and it's not good. It'll crush society. So what has to happen is there is going to be a type of universal basic income for people in a certain sector of income and what they paid in previous taxes, whatever their job was. And that is why I think there is going to be stablecoin issuance in every single state and using a particular blockchain. Whether you think that's going to be a CBDC or not, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be like, it might be deposited in your wallet. It is going to be based on whatever blockchain. You're going to get the wallet. It's going to be a government or whatever state mandated thing. You might have to spend it in a certain amount of time, and then it goes away, it's going to be smart contract. And mark my freaking words. This is my prediction. This is why they're doing the Stablecoin Genius Act and the Clarity Act and all of that stuff, because they're not going to be issuing dollars like they did during COVID. They're not going to print a bunch of money and then give a stimulus check. That's old. Obviously that didn't work. Obviously that inflated the crap out of purchasing power and destroyed the dollar, because in 4 years they printed 60% of what the circulating money supply was. Obviously bad move. And then also the interest was at zero, and then all of a sudden spiked right back up to over 5%, which then cooked middle class, destroyed people that were about to get ahead, and then they got hammered. And so this is all in play. And then there's a whole system being built behind the scenes that is going to be, I think, a Bitcoin standard. The theory is that, and it's not a theory, it's I think what they're really doing. Gold has gotten up to all-time highs, breaking all-time highs over basically a 25-year period of a giant cup and handle, okay? And so this gold breakout has been signaling as a world debasement trade connected to fiat currencies, which all fiat currencies, if they're any strong currency, has a connection to the US dollar through treasuries and bonds and securities. And so, and this is what I've learned over time, is that it's being purposefully killed to push people into the dollar or push people into gold. You see FOMO lines of people buying gold at the top. And then, and this is exactly what happened. 4,300, it topped out right there, and then it had a nice rejection. And this is exactly when retail started to line up, was right here. And so we even said this on one of our streams. We said, if gold is going to peak out and then we got retail coming in FOMOing, then this is usually a perfect setup that it gets dumped on their heads. And all those people that went and bought gold, they're now down 8.7%. And it takes a little while for gold, especially now, to kind of, I mean, it did recover up to 3%, but then, now we're going to have to let it cook, I mean, they're going to have to let their gold cook a little bit. We said that gold probably could get to that 5,000 point, but we don't know. I mean, this thing could start to sell off already and go into Bitcoin. Who knows? It's all kind of lining up with what the Fed's doing with quantitative easing. They're not tightening anymore. They definitely signaled that they're cutting rates in October meeting, which is in just a couple days. And then we have December and then January as the next meetings, which each one is percented out to have a cut, which means our bull run for altcoin season and all this stuff that everyone's been calling for the tops and saying that the cycle's over doesn't understand that this has been a very much stretched out cycle with a lot of events happened and different things to contribute to it, which makes sense. You can throw all your technical analysis through historical things out the window at a point where we've had so many different black swan events. We didn't have that many back then. It was like, it was not, it is like the Twilight Zone level of black swan, white swan events and all this stuff that's happened that has caused the volatility that we've had. So, what I think is happening, and it's been explained by Senator Cynthia Lummis, Wyoming senator, one of the more bullish states on Bitcoin. We got a lot of bullish states on Bitcoin: Wyoming, Texas, Florida. A lot of states bullish on Bitcoin. But what I think they're going to do is Cynthia Lummis explained a proposal for the 12 Federal Reserve district banks that are in the United States have gold certificates. And they have gold, but they're priced at their 1970 something value. So what they're going to do is price it at spot, all-time high gold. They've been waiting to do this. They've literally led people in the world into gold because the dollar is connected so heavily as a world reserve currency. Now, do you see the bait and switch that's happening on BRICS? That's happening on anyone that's going to be bullish gold over the next 5 to 10 years? Because you're being led to believe that we're going to go back on the gold standard. But remember, the gold standard kind of worked, but then it didn't, because you still have to have this trust, this proof of reserve, this whole I don't know, it just didn't really work, right? So we went on the fiat system, And now the fiat system is dying off. And now we're having this fusion system, which is, I think, going to be backed by Bitcoin, the Bitcoin standard. And so the hint for me and the red flag, or the flag, is like Jack Mallers with partnering up with Howard Lutnick, who's the Secretary of Treasury or Commerce Treasury, whatever Treasury is or Secretary is, with Jack Mallers, with USDT. And then also you got Michael Saylor. You got all these people accumulating this Bitcoin and running companies now divisible in Bitcoin domination in sats. We have Cynthia Lummis saying that we're going to sell our gold to buy Bitcoin and hold it over the next 20 years. So what is that? That's a Bitcoin standard running on a government ledger and balance sheet to pay off the debt. Because if we're going to hold the Bitcoin, which we're all accumulating, or they have their people, their key people that have started and tested it, Michael Saylor was the test. I've already, started to now believe that Michael Saylor definitely wasn't acting of his own accord. He figured something out, and someone gave him the tip and was like, "You're gonna test this, and then you're gonna be the leading example." But these are all just rabbit hole theories. But the one with the gold and then selling gold to buy Bitcoin and hold it for 20 years, this is how they just 24D chess moved the world, and we end up becoming the Bitcoin superpower here in America. And we set the example for every other government institution to do a, quote, Bitcoin standard. Now do you see what could be happening here? So the rabbit hole starts here. And then this is why I think it's really important to have a very much zoomed out macro, hold crypto. And obviously you're going to have to pay yourself. Everyone's portfolios are going to be massively different than others. So that's why it's all relative. You can't just listen to everyone to take profits or whatever and do this stuff and buy, because it's all relative of what the heck you're even buying to begin with. So that's why I can't tell you what to buy. I can just at least get you to just be bullish crypto macro. So let's get into this one clip again, because I really because when I start to talk about this plan that I think the government has, and no one's really breaking it down like this, it's very much like people are just going, oh, haha, like, yeah, like the Bitcoin reserve. And no, you don't understand. Like this is really like coming down the pipe. Every time I see Cynthia Lummis and her smile, she looks like she knows something.
The other thing is the proposal that I have and that President Trump has discussed about a strategic Bitcoin reserve or strategic Bitcoin stockpile, where the United States would acquire and hold Bitcoin for 20 years. Because of the way that Bitcoin has been appreciating since inception, this would be an asset that could help shore up the US dollar as the world reserve currency and serve as a reserve that could be used to reduce the national debt significantly.
So what she means by that shore up the US dollar is they have to kill it first. They have to kill it first. And then that's why the dollar has been going down, because they're like, look, we're going to bait everyone and then think the tariffs all have to do with it, because then we're trying to get the tariff money from the countries, and then we're also taking in money from the countries. And then we are tricking people into thinking, oh my gosh, the dollar, we got to get into gold. Gold's just crushing it. The world's going into gold. And then I think we have more gold than people realize. I started to think about it. I was like, we've all been taught that there's no gold in Fort Knox, that there is no gold or we don't have gold, I think that's crap. I think that I've been flipping everything. I'm like, if I hear this, I'm going to get in the middle and then start to go here. So then I can eventually start to either lean this way and go, okay, yeah, that's definitely, like, I feel way more confident and more of like a 90% chance, poly market chance that this is probably what's happening, because reality is so not what it seems. And we've been lied to constantly about everything. Mainstream media and the funnels that go through mainstream media they've been proven that they lie to us constantly. And so, if anything, if you can try and sift through the noise and not think that everything you're being told has to be completely opposite or reversed, but at some point there are things in our narrative here that you can listen to and then go, wait a second. Like, wait a second. I think we have more gold. I think we have more gold than we ever could imagine. We probably have more gold than most countries in the world. And so with that being said, we're going to sell the gold and buy the new money system, because we're not going to continue to go on an old money system that we tried before. We know it's not going to work in the digital age. We know it's not truly divisible and immutable and frictionless. It's very much frictioned. Gold is friction money because it's very cumbersome. It has a lot of friction. You need immutable, scarce money, and that's what Bitcoin is, as a store of value, but with friction, but with frictionless throughput. And so this is why I think we're going to go on this standard, and it's just a matter of time. And the only way that it works for us is if we trick the world into thinking that the dollar's dead, to then sell the gold at all-time highs, which is our highest, probably biggest asset that we have, that the world is valuing as the store of value, and then we dump it, and then we're going to literally buy Bitcoin with it over the next 20 years and hold it for the next 20 years. This is the plan. This is the plan.
You know, the American people are still hurting from inflation, from high prices, and they want the national debt reduced. These are ways to do it with an asset that is immutable, can easily be held by the federal government in a variety of vaults, and that states can participate in as well. So this is the gold standard digital asset, and a strategic Bitcoin reserve is the way to embed it.
You know, we got off the gold standard a long time ago. My question is how much you would spend tax dollars at a time where we're talking.
By the way, I'll play this clip as many times as you guys start to realize what the master plan is, okay? I want you to continue to watch this with me and get it through your head that there is something happening in the back end that we probably can't even begin to imagine the scale, okay? It's something's bubbling. Because look at the way she smiles when she talks, she's talking about it.
About trying to reduce costs, how much would you spend on Bitcoin as part of this reserve?
We wouldn't have to spend any new dollars. We have reserves at our 12 Federal Reserve banks, including gold certificates that could be converted to current fair market value. They're held at their 1970s value on the books, and then sell them into Bitcoin. That way, we wouldn't have to use any new dollars in order to establish this reserve. The United States already holds over 200,000 Bitcoin in the asset.
And get this, the Genius Act and the Stablecoin Act, the Clarity Act and all that is letting states mint stable coins only if you can back it 1-to-1 by a reserve treasury of what? Bitcoin. and gold in their own treasury and cash and but oh my gosh, guys. This is where it gets wild. Okay? This is where the bears and Peter Schiff might start his own Bitcoin live stream after the fact.
Forfeiture funds. So that would be the initial source of Bitcoin. So no new money spent on this reserve.
No new money spent on the reserve. Because that was always people's questions. Well, how are we gonna acquire all this Bitcoin? Well, now you know. And now you know why. 13 reasons why gold has outperformed stocks since to the year 2000. You think this has been just a 5-year plan, my friends? No, sir. I think that they've been planning this crap for years, for a long time. For a very, 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 very long time. And I think we're still so early when it comes to that. Man, well, I hope you guys have liked my rabbit hole discussions this morning. We want to read another tweet here. This is from the White Whale. They told you that losing money meant you failed. That being liquidated meant you were reckless. That being down bad meant you weren't built for this game. They lied. Failure isn't measured in red candles or P&L. It's measured in whether you let the system break your spirit. You didn't fail. You just learned what many still fail to grasp. That markets are engineered to extract emotion first and then the capital second. And then that is a big breakthrough that you will have in this space, is that you realize that it is about playing on your emotions, because these companies at the end of the day need customers like you to use their stuff so they can make money. And a lot of them are a little unethical than others. And you'll realize that very quickly when you end up making a lot of money on these platforms, and then you try to go bye-bye and they go, sorry, your account's frozen. You had some, you little fishy activity. So we're just going to hold on to your crypto for you. We'll make sure it's safe for you. How did that work out last cycle? So the weak call that unfair. The strong call it education, and it really truly is. It's very much you very much get educated in the school of hard knocks of crypto. This is where the majority walk away and blame luck, but for the few who stay, who dissect the pain instead of running from it, this is where the winner mindset is born. So no, this isn't your ending. This is your awakening from the depths, the white whale. Now, this white whale was a documented, I believe, hyperliquid trader and got cooked for $40 million. It's very, very much a nasty, nasty loss. Very much a nasty loss. And then speaking of on the other side of this, where there's this where people lost 40 million, bunch of accounts got completely nuked. There were Polymarket insider whale Jin, and also the same insider that was shorting and knew that Trump was going to make these announcements. And then also knew that they were going to be pardoning CZ soon. So then that chance of CZ getting pardoned by Trump went up like crazy, went up to like 90%, like very, very soon. And then he was just stacked up on that. I mean, just like boom, boom, boom. So this insider has made probably over $1 billion, like $1 billion, like billions. So when Eric Trump says the Trump family's made over $1 billion, well, now you know how. Now you know how. It's crazy, man. Chris Prophet said, I'd really like to defecate on CZ's keyboard. No, I told CZ last night to go to bed. I was like, bro, have you done enough? I'm like, stop posting right now, please. It's already bad enough. It's already bad enough that all the people that really felt that pain on that 10/10 date and got cooked, and then all of a sudden they see the president of the United States, who's supposed to be our crypto bullish president. It's like, oh, we pardoned CZ because he didn't do any crimes. I didn't know him. And I'm like, well, I feel really gross. I feel disgusting. I don't know about you, but it just made me feel gross. I'm like, I don't, and my wife pointed at, she was like, I think I know why you're feeling like this. And she was like, you know, you feel like the space and kind of what really has inspired you to, and made you feel more free or have freedom in learning about this stuff, is that now where the manipulation wasn't as so blatant and bad, now it's just like in our face, every day crime. If you got billions and you pay us enough, we'll do this. Doesn't matter what you did. It's like, and so you just kind of like, in that sense, lose a lot of hope, and you get a little discouraged. So I get it. But in those moments, you have to realize that it's not the politicians that are going to save you. It's not the main characters in crypto. CZ's not coming to save you. People think that, oh, CZ been getting pardoned is just going to save the space. We didn't need CZ at all. That's not the thing. Like, did Satoshi Nakamoto freaking need CZ? No. You know what Satoshi Nakamoto needed? Those very, very, like, almost like video game character level CryptoPunk, cypherpunk, cryptography people to start the Bitcoin forum. That's what it used to be, you know. That's what it kind of was, right? But now we kind of feel like the suits came in. We wanted the suits in here because they have the liquidity. But remember, how did they get the liquidity to begin with? They scammed the crap out of people. It's just the game. So it's like, we got to know, if we're gonna take the liquidity from the devil money, well, guess what? They're gonna continue to do all the same stuff that they do over here and do it in crypto. So they just moved the game over to the blockchain, and now that the blockchain, it doesn't hide very much, besides if you're on privacy coins, which segues to one of the things that we probably honestly need to start getting more bullish on, is the privacy sector. And guys, thanks for tuning in and humoring me with my theories here. Because again, you know, we're gonna try and be more educating and bringing you guys into a mind state of less trading, more DCAing, more learning that blockchain is going to be powering all the AI rails, and all the banks are going to be using it. Everything is going to be going on chain in some form or fashion. And we just need to be early investing in it, like as an example of if you were early invested in Amazon and was just doubling down when people were saying, oh, they're going to fail. They went up 68,000%. So imagine someone all through 20-year period just DCAing a little Amazon, DCAing a little Amazon. You know? Crazy. I mean, it's like this is where we are investing in the early on-chain settlements. So it's like we're investing in where all these companies that do POS and They want a cheaper way to just like, so, because you guys remember, if you own a business, you know that businesses pay a lot of fees to take credit cards. That's why it's like, if you go into a business and you pay like for an item that's like $2, the credit card fee is more than the item and the profit that they're going to make on selling the $2 item. That's why if you just like pay cash for the smaller items under $5, they actually will make a profit. But if you don't, then the credit card companies and the POS and all the fees that they have to pay, it kind of just like it eats into a lot of their business. So this is where us as crypto people need to realize that like there's thousands of businesses around that have this problem. How do you solve it? How do you onboard the masses? You tell them that you can literally accept crypto for 0.05 or 0.01. I mean, like fees, like very small fees, by using services like Solana Pay. I think MoonPay just set up one called MoonPay Commerce, where it's like you can just directly just API your business right into just accepting crypto. And so this is where it's like, guys, we're not going to make our money from trading and getting chopped up by Binance sandworms. We're going to make our money from being the first innovators and the people that are going to help onboard the masses that are going to be thousands and thousands numbers. You thought gold people lining up for gold? Guys, there's going to be people literally tripping over people to learn about crypto and realize that we were the pioneers. We were the ones brave enough to take the risk in the early days, and still the early days. You've been people are on crypto Twitter will convince you that it's a 6-month game. False. This is where you are going to build the future economy. This is the future. You're going to build the future economy here. My top 5 coins, man. So my top 5 coins, it's tough because like they get interchanged out a lot. I love Ethereum. I think if you can't support Ethereum now in crypto as still being, and I have a massive also big thesis and ethos of why I think Ethereum people don't understand. And it's like, you can be bullish Ethereum and bullish Solana. And in this world of crypto, they both are going to serve a purpose. So it's like, it's just like Bitcoin. And you could even go as far as XRP is going to serve their purpose as tapping into certain economies in this altcoin space. I just hope that Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson and all those people are just going to like really actually do good for the crypto people and not dump on our freaking heads. That's all I worry about. But and the same with ETH. I just hope that like they're going to be good custodians of this thing and they truly will run this as a decentralized internet settlement, because that's what Ethereum's for. Ethereum is for decentralized. It's still the most decentralized, biggest altcoin in the space compared to everything else. Still, it truly does have more of a decentralized nature to it than most crypto. That's why institutions are picking it. That's why it has that's why it was the second ETF to truly get institutional adoption. You're able to build on it. Like you can just build on it. It's easier to build on it. While other blockchains, it's a little harder. So it all makes sense, So ETH for sure. That's in my top 5. Bitcoin, I love Bitcoin. Obviously, it's like you have to have a soft spot for Bitcoin itself. I like AVAX. I really like AVAX. I think AVAX is tapping into a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about in terms of institutional adoption, treasury funds. BlackRock is eyeing AVAX. I think they've done a lot of their build fund on AVAX. Anthony Scaramucci, who's massive like investor. He's one of the suits. He's one of the suits. He's bullish AVAX, and AVAX at like $19 still right now. I mean, you got to think like some of these altcoins are just freaking so cheap, and we've seen AVAX in our 2 altcoin seasons, or the in 2021, and then in our pre-altcoin season that we had during like some euphoria in last year in January, March, February. The AVAX was cooking. I mean, it was going up 150, 200%, 300, and then it went up, I think it went up all the way to $100, I think, in 2021. Holy crap. Yeah, let's see. Let's see on the week. I'm sitting here talking, trying to guess it, and I have the chart right in front of me. But 143. Okay, yeah. So then it got up to 67 is where we hit that double top resistance. It was like boom, boom, try to test it right here, and then we've just kind of been in the crapper. But this has been most altcoins. But we know through watching the BTC ratio with Bitcoin and looking at Litecoin and certain oscillating indicators for altcoin season that we're still in accumulation mode. We know what happens when the switch flips. When the switch flips and we get out of quantitative tightening and we just start to kind of go into what is quote called the business cycle, I guess, where we start to really ramp up. It always happens at a 2-year point after an election. We've only been 7 months into an election and into a presidential campaign. It's usually the second year, which is the run. So that's why I think 2026 with these alts are going to be freaking crazy. And I'm bullish ETH. Like I'm thinking like ETH still under 4K is wild. ETH under 4K is still wild. Some people are going to come on the timeline and call for this bear market and ETH going back down to 2,200. And you know what? And if they're right, I don't even care. I'll freaking buy more. It's the same with Bitcoin maxis. They've always been like, well, I guess if it goes down, I'll just buy more. I'll just sell the car. But yeah, so Ethereum, AVAX, okay? And then I like Doge, Dogecoin. I think Dogecoin just has still carried its weight as a chain, but then also as a means of currency transactions, the meme itself, what it's been able to inspire through other communities and foster another run of momentum on Shiba Inu. If a coin is able to do that to then create a second community that is then going to be bullish crypto, I'm all for it. So like Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, I think those are still very relevant. We saw recently Floki had made major partnerships, but they also got freaking cooked by Binance. I wonder how Floki feels about CZ. Floki's about to bite CZ's ankle. So, and then look, Pole got also cooked on that Binance attack. But Pole has major institutional eyes on Polygon. Polygon was like the place to be in the previous cycle. And so I don't think that's changing. So that's also one of my top altcoins. I really like Polygon. I've used Polygon probably more than any chain in crypto. I was holding Chainlink on there. You could hold Near Protocol, I think, on there. You can hold a bunch of really like super liquid tokens that have a lot of volume. Render, I think, token you can hold on Polygon. So the Pole chain is a hybrid layer 1, layer 2 EVM chain. So it's kind of both. And so they've been kind of like through a lot. And they actually feel like speaking of, with Ethereum, they're like, they feel like they haven't been supported a lot. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? But yeah, I like Polygon. Solana, that's also my top one. I think Solana really is going to pinch out of this cup and handle pattern. You see on the weekly, if you weekly log Sol and just look at it, just look at that. You can see it's just like it's so ready. It's so ready to pull a momentum move like we had right here. 1,000% move to the upside, but not from this price point, you know, so you got to take it from the bottom. So if we're at $100, we could pull another 1,000% move to the upside, because guess what? I think Sol's going to $1,000. I really think so. ETH maxis hate it. They are like, Sol is garbage. And then the Sol people who are Sol maxis, they're like, why would you ever use Ethereum? You should just use Sol. It's cheaper. The people are here. The crypto people like it. And you have to just, I'm choosing both. So, because there's a lot that you can do with Sol, there's a lot that you can do with Ethereum, and they both serve their purpose. There's no reason to be a maxi. And also, we got to hedge our bets a little bit here, and we can't put all our eggs in one basket, especially if you're going to play the risky, dirty game of holding alts, you know, because man, it's been pretty, let's just be honest. It's been very atrocious. Because like I said, everyone thinks that like this like happened like how many times? No, it's happened 2 times. We've had basically 2 alt seasons. The previous cycle, where some of these alts didn't even exist, like Sui and Say and Arbitrum and Optimism and all these different chains that are you know, trading chains like Hyperliquid, and none of this crap existed back in 2016 and 2017. But we've had 2 altcoin seasons, okay? It was back then in the ICO season, and then we had 2021, which was retail kind of like catching the wind after COVID, trying to figure out how to make their money back from getting destroyed. And so yeah, cup and handle pattern, breakout, $1,000, that's my target. You know, worst case scenario, we at least get up to the second 618. Because remember, all where the money and the liquidity is flowing, we already saw it happen with XRP. It hit the 1618, and then the 2618 got rejected. Okay, now it's cooling off. First ones to run. BNB, they scammed the entire market and pumped up their own chain. That hit the 1618. Also hit the 2618, I believe, and then got rejected. I'm literally saying exactly what just happened. Look, boom, boom, rejected. 2618. I'm not stupid here. So what's another one? What's another one of my favorite coins? Oh, for crypto gaming, I really like the medieval empires. Like, I like that as a crypto game. Like, I think what they're building is really cool. I think the team is trying to build something fun for the crypto space and kind of demystify the whole thing of crypto games suck and they have bad graphics and there's a bad user interface. I think they're doing a pretty good job. And I got bullish on it because it was just one of Carl's angel invested companies, also with Da Vinci. And I started to dive into it, and then I played it, and I was like, well, wait, this actually is good. And so they might be onto something with the RTS crypto style game, which has rewards with the token, ecosystem, NFTs, all that stuff. And we've seen every time we've had a bullish run on crypto gaming tokens throughout the past 2 years, this token was cooking. I mean, it was like cooking. So we just got to get people, honestly, like, I think if you're in crypto and you want crypto to pump and have retail really come in, we need to get the gamers attention on some of these crypto tokens, or in the crypto ecosystems that have these games, because that's when we're going to get all the people. Guess what? All the people that just got rugged on the Counter-Strike skins, guess what? That whole economy just got rugged, because then they just did this package deal where it's like, oh, you can get these skins for this many dollars. And it basically just nuked the entire volume of Counter-Strike skins, which was valued at $4.2 billion. Okay? They were valued at $4.2 billion, just Counter-Strike skins. Guys, this is why you don't understand how early we are, that when people wake up, and all these people wake up to the fact that they could just go buy some altcoins and also start to play these video games if they are that person. Because if you're a person that's collecting Counter-Strike skins, you're playing Counter-Strike, you're on, you have this community, like, take that and apply it into crypto, and oh my God, this is how we're going to I think this is how it confirms Alex Becker's super crazy, like mega, like gaming explosion that people haven't really understood yet because we're still early. No one knows how to even set up a wallet right now. That's why companies like MoonPay and all these different platforms are trying to make it easy for you to just like download a wallet, just top it up, buy some crypto, and then once you have the crypto, then there you go. You're part of the new culture now. and people are still in the old fiat system thinking that's going to continue to be the thing, not realizing that if you are or had been born in the early 2000s, even you've experienced, even as through a kid and a teenager, and then now being 25, if you're that person, now you're 25 years old, you've even experienced the switch on things and how you stopped using stuff and now you're using this. Especially if you were born in the 90s, then it's even more apparent that things change and things evolve and we stop using stuff and we go into a new system. So just imagine. And then you have all the people that are parlaying sports. Well, guess what? That just got uncovered as a massive freaking scam. And look at the clips of these basketball players. These basketball players, do I have the clip? It's freaking crazy. Yeah, Asmongold covered it. He was like, "What the?" And I knew the scandals had been happening over the past couple of days, and then someone went to jail, or they're going to be going to jail. There's a whole FBI sting on basically these two different players, and also connected with bets that they're purposefully missing shots. It's just like in Pulp Fiction. If you guys watch Pulp Fiction, remember the character. The kingpin guy was like, you're gonna lose this fight, and he was gonna pay him a lot of money to lose this fight because it needed for the other guy to win because there was high bets on him to freaking win the fight. And what did What did his character do? Is it Mel Gibson? Not Mel Gibson. Jeez. Man, I'm having a freaking brain fart moment of who the freaking actor. Gosh. Ironically, Jesus. But yeah, doesn't matter. The boxer, he freaking was like, I'm gonna destroy this guy, and then he won the fight. But look at this. This is crazy.
They have a group do something for them, but then the group says, okay, well, if you do that, you're going to have to, at one point or another, in the future, you're going to have to miss that ball, right? You're going to have to, like not hit that free throw or something like that. And so, like, that's how it happens every time. And take the fall? Yes, exactly. And let me go back. I'll see if I find some more of this here. It was connected with the mafia? Yeah, of course. I mean, like, because it would make sense. I mean, why wouldn't you do this? It's smart to do this. So, yeah, anyway, let's go back over here. You should watch the mashup of Rosier throwing a game on Twitter. Well, anyway, I'm going to look at it. So this guy was betting on the outcome of the games of NBA. Well, let me look at this and we'll see what all this is. And holy fucking shit. And you're telling me this guy was betting on the outcome of NBA games? You don't say.
And still going.
Don't say.
And still going.
Oh, sorry. I love that he's
trying.
Did you see that? That is insane. This is so fun. I love that Asmongold's playing Skyrim background music. He's playing that Skyrim background music. I will never like not be able to distinct in the faint distance running through Tamriel or Skyrim or Morrowind.
You're not even trying to hide it, bro. Like, you're not even trying to go in and be like, oh, well, geez, guys, I made a mistake. You're not even good enough to do that, and you're popping off doing this shit. Oh, my God. Mind you, he's getting paid $26 million a year. Yeah, I bet he's going to be getting fined even more than that, and it's going to be bad. It's, oh, my God. Look at this. Who is this guy?
Oh, Rozier, turn it over again. Having a tough night.
Guys.
So why I'm bringing this up is if we go to explore and go to some of the breaking news. Did it change on me? Oh man, I hate when it does that. I had it right here, and I thought I clicked on it, but whatever. All right. But yeah, so there's just massive manipulation happening with the sports betting. It's like, I wonder when retail will stop betting and leveraging and just like acquire assets. I wonder when the breakthrough will happen, because it's like, you can buy the scratch off cards, you can play the lotto, you can parlay, you can have the dopamine hits of 50-50 chances, or do you want to become rich? Let's just be honest. Do you want to keep playing the gambler's game, the zero-sum game of 50-50 chance, flip a coin type crap? Or do you want to hold the world's most precious freaking digital coins that people are going to want so bad later in life that they had wished they hadn't spent a freaking dime on a damn scratch off or parlaying on a sports team through Hard Rock bets? I wonder when that time will be. The time will come. The time will come. So we are bullish. We are bullish Crow. That was another altcoin. If you guys wanted to know what my top coins were that I kind of personally hold, is I do hold Crow. I think Crow, even though the deals with Trump family have been really kind of now making me mad, especially with the whole in and outs with Binance and CZ, this whole debacle, I still am bullish with the partnerships with Crow, with the United States. So it's kind of like my hedge of an altcoin that is going to get a lot of that scam money popping in, but whatever. Yeah, so Crypto.com files for National Trust Bank Charter to bolster custody services. Now we've heard the rumors. It is going to happen. We don't know who's going to be hosting it and be the moderator of it. Binance founder CZ accepts Peter Schiff's Bitcoin versus tokenized gold debate. And then Richard Hart actually pointed out the fact that he already debated Peter Schiff and destroyed him in the first 4 minutes of the debate. And yeah, I thought that was funny. We watched a clip of that. So it's, yeah, if you ever want to actually study Richard Hart and how he debates, definitely watch that debate, and it might help if Richard Hart ever comes on your channel, and you can get ready for the you can get ready for it. All right, Pump Fund. This is pretty interesting. So Pump.Fund acquires multi-chain trading terminal Padre to bolster crypto tools. So got some acquiring happening. Yeah, I think nothing too crazy happening in the space, right? Shout out to BTC Isla. She's putting out some really good videos. I think if BTC Isla, I really like the way that she does her videos. They're very, very much like influencer, but in a good way, not cringe. It's more or less like she breaks it down really well.
reality found even more insane ways to use digital ID to control our lives. Citizens arrested for risky tweets.
She's talking about digital ID, but I don't know who's editing her videos, but I like the editing style. I kind of want to steal it. I kind of want to steal it. Oh, but yeah, this is good. This is good. She's talking about the digital ID and kind of what it entails and why it's kind of like a sneaky little snake, and to be able to just like shut you down if you end up doing what the government doesn't like you doing, or a particular group that has control, or things get hacked and then they basically just like have access to all your information, aka Coinbase. Coinbase is terrible. Coinbase recently is like, let us spend $25 million on 8 podcast episodes instead of spending $25 million on our customer support line. That's why Coinbase is laughable as a crypto company. Sorry, I'd tell them that to their face. I'd say you spent $25 million on an NFT and your customer service is outsourced to India and you leaked all of our addresses and information. You suck, Coinbase. That's why we need to learn about self-custody, my friends. It's very important. These exchanges do not care about you. They just want your money.
Naked. Hell, it's a human right to have your own damn privacy. But the truth.
So, human right to have your own damn privacy. So you see where this is going? Why? Then we're going to possibly segue into why privacy is going to be one of those things that is very, very, very important. And why all the crypto millionaires are going to be created over the next few years are going to literally be transacting in private networks, because especially if you're in a country that is trying to silence you, or literally like, or you live in a place where it's like, oh, it's a right to, it's mandatory to have the digital ID, or we're not going to let you work. And by that point, you should already be crypto rich. And you said, well, sir, I don't need to work. And then you can just kind of go wherever you want. You go, shh. You go, brother in Christ, I don't need to work anymore. I DCA'd crypto for the past 6 months and broke through. I stopped leverage trading and I started buying crypto, which is the whole point. All right, so speaking of that, we're going to go to one of the privacy coins and projects that we've been following, thanks to Headband. And it is Zara. Let's see, is that the right one? So this is the lowest market cap privacy coin that we know of that has a dev that's trying to build a ZK zero knowledge proof chain that also is going to be a peer-to-peer offline protocol where you can send your assets either with stablecoin or with Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana, or the Zara token itself. They're test netting or testing the dashboard for this thing, and the dashboard looks pretty cool. But if you're looking for something that's like kind of low cap, you can start here. Don't buy the token. I'm not telling you to buy the token, but you just kind of go down this rabbit hole and then go, okay, this is how a project looks like as it's starting. Okay, this is what it looks like. Because right? I mean, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, if we do want to make asymmetric upside in this game here, we need to buy stuff that is innovating and that's new, but then also buy the tried and true stuff like your Litecoin, like your ETH, like your Bitcoin, whatever your favorite alt is, that's been around for years. A lot of that's for Dogecoin, like a lot of people feel like that with Dogecoin. I have a soft spot for it. But yeah, this is how you can go down the rabbit hole and just go off of this and say, okay, well, how can I look and model this into an early project that might be a crypto gaming project? whatever it is. And so chart's just kind of just jumping around a little bit. It had some peaks. It had 3 all-time highs. Had a test up here to resistance, and now it just kind of is sitting in the bottom of support. So it's just sitting right here. And if anything, if you're looking at a coin with this particular chart, this would be the time you'd want to be buying. So here is where usually people get excited, and that's when they want to buy. But then we know if it, and sometimes it can keep going, but you know, when it gets up to these points where it's breaking these all-time highs, you get a little sell-off. And this coincided with the dump of the whole crypto market too, because if you think about it, this thing was cooking up, and then look where it had a sell-off. That the green candle right there, or I think let's say that was the sell-off right there on the 10th, and then actually afterwards it actually broke that all-time high after the fact. So that's a good sign. It didn't get completely rocked. Like, it went down, but then it recovered, all-time high, went down, tried to test out of that resistance. All right, so let's go into the dashboard, because they just tested out and gave us a little peek of the dashboard. No, I don't want to go there. I want to go to it was on the Twitter. Okay, so let's see about this dashboard. Maybe they'll send us something that we can test. We want to test out the hardware device. Apparently there's going to be a hardware device linked to it as well. So that's the dashboard. You can see, we'll just break it down. Looks like you have a list of assets. You can hold Ethereum. I like that it shows you got a P&L. You got a little chart here on the side. It's multi-chain. I wonder what they're using as their stack to be able to hold multi-assets. Like, are they using some kind of like, I wonder what they're using. And how many and this is like, these are all the questions that I'm actually going to hopefully ask the dev. Like, how many chains are you going to be able to use in here? And in what way? And are you going to be able to swap on every chain? Because that's kind of the new tech, is that you should be able to literally be interoperable, omni-chain swapped between everything, right? You should be able to communicate in one computer, should be in one chain, should be able to talk to the other one. I know Osmos and Cosmos and stuff like that. That was like what their whole play was, and that was the narrative, was to be multi-chain, omni-chain. And so that's probably what's happening here. Then you got a private cache section, payments, and you can see activity. So it looks good. Oh, nice. So yeah, you see your activity. You can see. Now this is cool. This is private cache section. You have an offline balance, pending transactions. You got different vaults here, different addresses. So what this is a ZK0 proof protocol built on Solana. Pretty cool. So we'll see what's going on with that. We're going to follow that. But at the same time, then we got like things like Zcash. You can see Zcash has just been crushing it. I mean, it basically got up to its previous November all-time high and May and November all-time high. Now, what's interesting about this is that the Zcash pump happened along with altcoins and Bitcoin going up kind of in the upward trajectory. Because that's what happened. We had Bitcoin dump first, like it topped out in August, and I think and then also in November, right? It was like, I think it topped out around, was it August? I can't remember exactly when it truly topped out. We'd have to go back in the chart here. Yeah, so it was March that it hit that first all-time high. And then in November, and then because look, it got cooked, and then all in July and all right here, we had a rotation into some of these alts. And then we had another massive rotation. It was that last 3 months that usually cooks people because they think everything's over right here. They get cooked, and then they end up buying back in here, and then it was like destruction. So it's like, it's tricky sometimes, you know? I mean, imagine like you get up to the top here, everyone's euphoric, and then it goes down 40%. You know, it's like from the top here, 55%. It went down 55%. And then recovers again and goes up another 134%. You're like, what the heck? And so that's very interesting. So, okay, so we have that March and November were the tops of Bitcoin in the previous cycle. So then if we go back to Zcash, and look at that Binance chart, and we'll see that in May, it was following Bitcoin very well. It also took a plunge in this point. Or sorry, March, it was like was sitting a little flat, but then it pushed up as Bitcoin was going down. And so then also it went down fully. And then at the same time, it pushed up along with Bitcoin in November with the rest of the altcoins. What's interesting though is that it tried to test again right here a few months later in 2022 in March. Interesting enough. But then we went into the bear market. And what's interesting is that, well, at least bear market for altcoins. But we went into, and then we went into, quote, the start of the bull market for Bitcoin at the bottom of 16,000. So why it is a little bit worrying, why we have, privacy and this popping up into this area all of a sudden, kind of would worry someone to think that, okay, this is going to be the rotation into privacy, and then it's it. It's over. We're going to go down again and just kind of go into, this. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. And because Zcash has gotten that first pump and market share, is Monero now going to be the next one? And I really believe so. I think Monero can easily get up to that 1,200 mark, which is basically the fib. It's like the fib extension, exact fib extension on the 2618. So it's going to hit that first 618, which is 757, and then it'll cool off a little bit. We're just following fib and hit that, cool off, and then boom. But then all at the same time, we're going to be really watching this low cap stuff to see what happens. So we're trying to be in the most asymmetric upside places in crypto. And I think one of those places is privacy. So we're going to try and build up our bags as best as we can. I think one of those other places is Pulse Chain. And I think another one of those ecosystems, or two ecosystems, is the Solana ecosystem in Ethereum. And in Ethereum, I kind of spread out and I have my bullishness on certain areas. Like I'm kind of bullish on Arbitrum. Like I like Arbitrum. And then I like Polygon, which is kind of like a layer 1 and layer 2. But then I'm bullish on Solana. I like Solana. I like that what they're doing too. So this is kind of where I want to be. This is where I'm at. I'm bullish Solana, ETH ecosystems. I think that Pulse Chain is going to surprise the crap out of everyone, and privacy stuff is going to be huge. And I think crypto gaming is still going to surprise a lot of people. But hey, you got to believe in something. But that's at least what I've been focusing on, and try to model my portfolio on that. But all right, guys, I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. We streamed for way too long. We've been running our mouth for way too long. We do appreciate it. Yeah. See, we got 17 likes, and we had some people popping in and out throughout the live stream. So thank you so much. Let's see yeah. So basically, once I start getting to about like the hour mark is when I think people start to go, okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start to really dial in the live streams, my friends. I mean, we're going to really dial it in. We have a lot of guests coming up. We got some exciting guests coming on the show. We're super stoked. And so we are very excited to bring these people on. I'll give you some hints. It's some ladies. We're getting some Web3 ladies to come on the live stream and to help us tap into their secret and what they've been doing to be successful in the crypto space. I mean, we're just going to pick their brains. So, yeah, so that's a hint. Try and guess who it is. Got a couple of them, actually. And then we are going to have a dev from a project, multiple projects. 2 devs come on, and I want you guys to try and guess who that might be. So, yeah. It's going to be fun. So stick around, stick to this live stream. We're going to be having some people on. We're also going to shorten the live streams and really, like, once we start to get to right at an hour, cut it, because we got to do better on this algorithm. So we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We love every single one of you. Thanks for your continued support, and keep your eyes out for these live streams coming up in the next couple days, next week. And click the bell to be notified, because YouTube will not tell you when I go live unless you click the bell. And also just interact, hit that like button, comment, do all those things. I really appreciate it. And shout out to all the people that were watching on X. I see you here. Got 81 people watching. Don't be a stranger. And if you haven't went and subscribed to the YouTube to show your support and get the numbers cranking over here, that would be very much appreciated. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good weekend. God bless you. May the light of the Lord Jesus Christ shine on you and your families, and give you the inspiration and the will and all of the things necessary to continue on your journey and to not give up. All right. See you on the next one. Peace out.